Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'll be upgrading my Thinkpad T580's Wi-Fi chip to an Intel AX210 Wi-Fi 6 card. I'll also be installing a Western Digital M.2 solid-state drive in the spare WWAN slot. The steps and components for this job are exactly the same for the Thinkpad P52s and very similar for the T480. Taking a closer look at the components, here's the Intel AX210 Wi-Fi card. The position of the antenna ports is exactly the same as the 8265 card we're about to take out. It's a single-sided chip as well, and there's nothing on the back save for some printing. Here, on the other hand, is a 512GB Western Digital SN520 SSD. Just like the AX210 Wi-Fi card, there's nothing on the back other than printed information. The key thing when choosing a M.2 SSD to buy for this ThinkPad generation is to make sure the SSD you get is at least B-keyed. Most M.2 SSDs being sold in the market are M-keyed, and having this B-key requirement pretty much narrowed my options to this Western Digital drive and SK Hynix's counterpart. That's enough of an intro, let's get on with the job. Before anything else, make sure you download and install the correct AX210 drivers from Intel's website before proceeding with the card swap, since your new Wi-Fi card won't function without correct drivers installed. I'll put a link to the correct page in the description below. After installing the correct drivers, shut your laptop down, log into your BIOS settings, go to the Config tab, and disable the built-in battery. Your ThinkPad should immediately turn off after doing so. Flip your laptop over, unlock the two latches, and then remove the external battery. On the T580 and P52s, there are 8 screws holding the lower cover onto the chassis. The T480 has fewer of them. Unscrew all of these. Don't forget to remove the rubber cap beside the left side USB-C port if your ThinkPad comes with it. As always, I start unclipping the lower cover from one of the rear corners and work my way forward. If you have a hard time with your fingernails, you can use something like a plastic spudger or even an old hotel key card. After successfully getting one side off, do the same for the other side. Once both sides are loose, carefully work your way from both front corners to the middle of the front edge. After that, carefully unclip the thin bar that runs on the bottom rear edge. This is the spare M.2 WWAN slot we'll be installing the SSD in today. And this is the Intel 8265 card that we'll be replacing. To remove the Wi-Fi card, we need to first remove the screw holding it in, then remove both snap-on antennas. Actually, it would have been better to remove the antenna wires first. Once that's done, wiggle the Wi-Fi card out. So here's a quick comparison between the AX210 on the left and 8265 on the right. The antenna wire receivers on both cards are on the same location, which makes this process a straightforward swap. Installing the new card is simply doing everything we just did in reverse order. Slide the card into the port and reinstall the screw. Press both antenna wires down their respective ports. They should very easily snap on. Double check that they're installed securely by turning them over their sockets afterwards. Time to install the SSD. Remember what I said about a B key earlier? Here's what the receiving socket looks like, with the part that goes into the B key clearly visible. Start off by removing the screw that Lenovo included with the ThinkPad. As we did with the Wi-Fi card, slide the SSD into the M.2 port and screw it down. A lot of online threads talk about cards with chips on both sides being incompatible with the ThinkPad motherboard, and from this video it's easy to see why. There's just not that much space underneath. Now that everything looks to be in order, let's reinstall the lower cover and boot her up. Tap the lower shell back on and press down on the perimeter and the middle part. The thin strip on the rear edge always needs a little more attention. Carefully pinch your way from one end to the other. Don't forget to do one last check around the perimeter to make sure all the clips are seated tight. Once that's done, tighten all the screws and reinstall the external battery. Boot the laptop up and open Windows Device Manager. Once you see both the new Wi-Fi card and new M.2 SSD listed in their respective sections, you're good to go. I hope you found this video useful. If you want to see more of these videos, please do feel free to hit like on this video and subscribe to my channel. I promise not to spam your feed with clickbaity thumbnails and the like. If you're interested in upgrading your ThinkPad's display panel to a power-efficient one, I'll have the link somewhere on the screen for your convenience. Thank you for watching and see you next time.